Today on FTR TV, I'll give you a quick update on the tank, but not like a normal update because it's a different kind of update. Anyway, check out the video. G'day everyone, my name is David Mine. Welcome back to First Time Reefer TV. And yes, today you are getting a little update on my dream reef build. We have flow, we have lights, we have a cycle that's nearly finished. We do have a little bit of algae as well, but we're probably not going to get into that in this video. But as you can see, there is some serious flow rippling across the top of this tank. It is only a very quick update. I'll do a proper one because this one was actually featured on the Reefbuilders Reefstock at Home episode 2. Jake Adams hit me up earlier in the week to submit a video to sort of represent some Australian reefers, and I'm completely honoured to be asked to feature on the Reefbuilders YouTube channel and to be sitting alongside the names of like Ania and Cam from Galleria, Aquatica, and Shane Danger Coleman from Sustainable Reefs. Like, pretty blown away to be taking a seat next to those guys. But basically, due to COVID, Reefstock can't go ahead, so he's turned it to a virtual event, so kudos to him for still making an event that people can enjoy and entertain. So we'll jump straight into the video now for Reefstock at Home. Enjoy. G'day everyone, my name is David Mine. I'm from First Time Reefer TV, a little YouTube channel based out of Melbourne, Australia, that covers a lot of the reefing events that happen across our beautiful country, including Reefstock, which is one of the first Reefstocks to ever happen outside of the US of A, and also doing LFS tours, tank tours, and documenting my reefing journey over the years as well, and how I've ended up at my dream reef build here today. But shout out first and foremost to the Reefbuilders team and Jake Adams for asking me to jump on and share a quick snapshot of my YouTube channel and what I get up to, but also for providing this entertainment for people even during these COVID pandemic times. I know it can be a little bit tough for people, but big kudos to you guys for still considering to put on a show to entertain people across this world. Now today I'm going to share with you two tanks that I feel have been quite pivotal in my YouTubing life per se, and how those two tanks have really shaped the way that I've decided to run this tank here. Now the first tank is from David Sirius. He is a reefer based out of Sydney, Australia. His tank is one of the first tanks that I got to see that was an SPS dominant tank, and as soon as I laid my eyes on it, I knew that I knew the SPS bug had just bit. His tank is about a year old by the time I got to see it. It's lit up with a couple of Radion Gen 4 and Gen 5. It's a water box 130.4, so a 4-foot water box, and it was just absolutely beautiful. The growth patterns, the color striations, and also the polyp extension that he has with his SPS is just absolutely mesmerizing. And I found myself, even before shooting the tank, just standing there and just marveling at this beautiful symphony of polyps moving backwards and forwards, and yeah, it was just captivating and mesmerizing. And I knew from that point onwards that this tank here was going to be an SPS dominant tank. So shout out to David Sirius for having one of those crucial tanks in my YouTube channel career. Now the second tank this tank is what I regard as probably the best tank in Australia. Not even one of, it is the best tank in Australia. It is from none other than Yoshi Fujisawa. He's actually featured on the Reefbuilders channel already as well. He has a Neptunian Cube 5-foot tank that is covered wall to wall with just the healthiest, most colorful, most beautiful SPS that I've ever seen. And unfortunately I haven't been able to see this tank in person. It was done via Zoom, but you know, luckily because of lockdown we found other ways to do tank tours, and this was one of the first ones. We go through really in depth on how in tune with his tank he is, and the sort of tells that he picks up with coral to understand what's going on with his water. Now the most interesting thing that I took away from or two most interesting things that I took away from my chat with Yoshi is, one, the benefits of aminos dosed into the water. I actually increased my doses of aminos to my tank to twice what I normally do, and I could see a positive result in not only the coral health but the coral color as well. So now I dose lots of aminos to the tank. And secondly, being able to sniff your water to understand what's going on with your tank. Now, I know that might sound crazy when you say sniff your water to understand what's going on with your tank, but he explains the smell in an SPS dominant system to be slightly sweet. And he's got it down to the point where once he's dosed aminos, he can smell it in the water, which is absolutely crazy and almost very, very Japanese. But he knows when he needs to do a water change because the water doesn't smell right. And what that really taught me was how in tune with your tank you have to be. And every tank has its own character, and it's up to you to sort of unlock that and understand it. And he has well and truly unlocked the understanding and timing of his tank. In saying that though, he's actually upgrading to a new Cade Peninsula tank, a 6-foot Peninsula, which is his version 2.0 of this tank. So I don't know how the best tank in Australia is going to get any better, but Yoshi is going to show us that. So if you jump over onto Instagram and check out bonsai_reefer, that's his Instagram handle, you'll be able to follow his documentation of his upgrade to the new Cade across there. Now I keep mentioning the dream reef build, and this tank here is my rendition of a dream build, something that I've been yearning to have ever since I've started not only just a reef tank, but ever since I've started owning aquariums in general. I've always thought about having my own fish room that is entirely dedicated to my fish tank. And somehow I did get this past my wife, so shout out to my wife for being very understanding. But this tank here is a custom water box 8x4 by 18 inches deep. It's about 350 gallons or so in the display, plus another 150 gallons in the sump. It is run by two Deltec E-Flow 12,000 pumps. The skimmer in there is a great white GW30 skimmer. I've got a custom acrylic sump from Hamali, Australia as well, with their dual 7-inch roller mats, and it is a racetrack style sump. So it does start from there, flows down the end here, curls back around and goes back into my return pump chamber, which makes the runs from the return pumps to the tank very, very short. Now this tank is in its cycling process at the moment. It is basically just at the very, very end, just the last bit of nitrite to come out and I can get some cleanup crew in here. The rocks inside the tank are Marco rock and base rock. I basically just smashed the base rock apart, glued it all back together, and then stuck the shelves in there, and it's sort of like a floating scape or a bonsai style scape, and it just has all these beautiful ledges that allow really, really easy coral placement, and especially because I'm going to be doing SPS dominant, I just want something nice and easy to be able to mount corals to. It is very open, but I plan for the acro to really grow into this and stretch out and take up a lot of that negative space that's currently there at the moment. So I didn't want to stack it with too much rock and then have to remove it later down the track. I'd rather add in some more rock as I need. It's got two of the Tun Stream 3 wave makers, one on each side of the weir blasting out. And you can see that beautiful rippling action as the Stream 3s push their jet of water across the top, and it's picking up all the detritus off the bottom and getting it into my roller mats as well. Now, I actually haven't even shared this on my YouTube channel yet, but the lighting I've got here are 12 units of the new Illumagic X4 lights. Now Illumagic is been around in Australia for quite a while now. It's just recently reached into the US market, but this is the next generation of their lights. Now it's a 4-puck cluster running at 30 watts per cluster, and they've actually rejigged their pucks to reduce the amount of white and increase their blue and UV, which just allows this massive wide band of light spectrum. I've got it mounted just over 2 foot above the tank, and I'm still getting about 400 par across my rock work, which is pretty exceptional. But these are just marvelous lights. You can see the color here. They are running 100% on everything. They've got a new app coming out, and yeah, I hope you guys will be able to get a taste of this over in the States as well. But that's a very, very quick snapshot into what my YouTube channel is about. I would really appreciate if you guys could jump on over to the First Time Reefer TV YouTube channel and drop a sub there so you can catch up on all of the process of this build, of how I got through here today, and obviously the exciting part where I'm going to start adding fish and coral. Shout out again to Jake Adams and the Reefbuilders team for asking me to jump on today. and sharing a little bit about my YouTube channel. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show. There's a couple of other great Aussies, Shane, Danger Coleman, and also Ania and Cam from Galleria, Aquatica, that you guys 100% have to check out. But until next time, guys, peace.